Hello and welcome. My name is Bradley. I'm from ThinkSpace Education. I'm a film, games and television composer, and I'm joined by Richard Wilkinson, who is also those three things. Rich, why don't you tell the people at home just a little bit about yourself and who you are?
So I am Richard Wilkinson. I'm a composer predominantly in video games. I've done stuff like the Narcos game, Doctor Who, The Edge of Reality, Peaky Blinders VR game recently, and many other things, and a bit of TV. Lots of stuff NDA'd, as you know, that you can't talk about.
It's a kicker.
But yeah, we're going to use that experience and funnel that into a little bit of a crash course in how you might approach a video game score with these tools.
Absolutely. And those tools are going to be Spitfire's Albion Solstice and Albion Tundra, which are two very interesting libraries. They have a unique palette, and we're going to deploy that to write some fantasy music. Now, Rich and I have worked together before. We're working together on a project at the moment, but you will see us in our ThinkSpace's How to Write Video Game Music course, which you can pop over to our website and have a look at. But for now, should we get started and jump right in? Because we've only got a little bit of time. We don't want to bore you and be here for hours. So yeah, where should we start? We've got a little bit of template here already.
Yes. So the only prep that we've done is 25 tracks. In fact, we don't even need this one. So 24 tracks of most of the main presets in the various libraries. We've got a little bit of contrast, Eric Whittaker's contrast in there. We've got Mysterious Reeds as well, but we're going to focus mostly on the two Albions.
Yes, absolutely.
And see where we get. So the first thing I would do, we don't have a brief, which is quite nice. It's kind of
it's freeing.
It's nice, but it doesn't give you a starting point, which is sometimes useful. But the tiny amount of brief we've got is we're going to write fantasy music for a video game. And for some people, that will immediately give them something.
Absolutely, yeah.
You might think of Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate or Skyrim or something like that. I like Final Fantasy. It's got fantasy in the name.
And that's a good point. But there are, I mean, even between those games, they're very, very different. And they all require something a bit just different approach, really, for each three.
Yes.
So maybe we come up with something ourselves?
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting thinking of the genres that you can get video games in and musical styles that apply to them. Because if you're like, to a degree, fantasy video game music can be anything, but it's often choirs and big weighty brass and big weighty strings and big percussion. And then you get different takes on that. The Witcher's got slightly more Central and Eastern European,
lots of vocal focus as well.
Influences, and that really stands out as a great score. The Final Fantasy stuff is a lot more melodic, a lot more romantically harmonic, and harmonic in a jazzy way. Like some of that music is just
some of my favourites,
stunning. I was listening to some of the new one recently, and it's great stuff.
That Rebirth,
but quite expressive and melodic and orchestral often in that way. And you can use that to lead you in the right starting point, or you can go somewhere completely different. Because if you're doing, let's say, a very culturally specific piece of work, like you're doing a documentary about the Troubles, or you're doing a documentary about the Irish potato famine, you really need to be specific and sensitive about the way that you approach the cultural part of that, because there'll be Irish people in the cast and crew, and there'll be Irish people watching it, and there'll be people who've got a very strong connection to the stuff that you're trying to pass off as authentic.
Yes, yeah.
And if you got that gig, you'd want to work with people who know their stuff in order to do it justice. Whereas fantasy music for video games, it is often orchestral in nature. It's often folk in nature. It's often quite Celtic derived musically. But you're not going to get an angry letter from an orc when the game comes out because you used the wrong scale. So you've got a lot more freedom because it can be anything. So you can use these touchstones to start with, but
I mean, something we've talked about before was keywords. Like you said, a few things there that were quite good, like Celtic. the whole the sweeping aspect of like the orchestral elements.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe that's a good place to start, as long as we're sensitive
Yeah.
to the orcs' feelings, of course.
Yeah.
We don't want to offend anyone.
Yes. Yeah. I think the Celtic thing is good, and I think I mean musically, I'm sort of thinking minor, pentatonic, a little bit pastoral, but in a way like if you write a melody that fits the vibe you're going for, you can bring it up or down with orchestration.
Absolutely.
So the first thing I would tend to do with something like this is to just really quickly bosh down an idea.
Yeah. What have we got for like a good sketching?
A bosher. So normally I'd use a piano, but I'm going to solstice band. Probably not this. Right.
Okay.
So we want something that's a bit more keyboardy, so you can just get an idea down. Okay. It's thinking, but I think this is going to be the one. Okay, that's
a good one.
plucky.
Yeah. That's a good bosher.
So I'm thinking minor.
Okay.
I'm imagining
Paint us a picture.
that we are approaching maybe the crest of a hill at golden hour in a cart with a sort of like an almost horse, but it's got some kind of it's got
Like 6 legs or something.
It's got 6 legs and 3 eyes. So it's a sort of humble but hopeful, yet hopefully slightly magical sound.
Okay, yeah.
And some of that will be in the melody, some of that will be in the instrumentation. So, so I'm liking the chord progression of going from G minor to C minor. Or to C major.
You could start with minor and then move to show the hopefulness
Yeah.
with the major, maybe. See what happens.
Okay, yeah, something minory pentatonic-y.
Okay.
Something like that.
So what we got? What's the tempo? 134. 4/4. We're going to stick with that. That's what,
Well, then we do it triplety. Oh, that's what you do for when you're travelling later on. You bring the theme back.
yeah.
Okay. So that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, like that. 80 something. Yeah. 75. 75 seems a bit too. 74.
It makes all the difference.
Yeah. That's one more on your Metacritic. You do a slightly squiffy tempo. Let's just see what we're on. We're on plucked. Ooh.
Oh. That's an interesting patch. I've never heard that before.
We've fallen off the horse and cart.
Ooh.
It's really nice having a patch that you can just play the idea on and then... Because you might not necessarily use that particular patch in the final idea, but having these different techniques and the extended patches, it's always going to take your mind somewhere, and you can, like we were talking about 4/4 versus 3/4, you can think about how these might take you in a slightly different direction. But let's get this idea down. Okay. and then we'll do some other stuff after that. But
I
that's
really like the pause you put in there before you went to the next chord. It was
like a 6/4 bar or something.
Unexpected, yeah.
Yeah, nice to
switch it up.
yeah, nice to put slightly unexpected chords, or you know, because the listener gets comfortable with an idea, and sometimes you can just go, hang on a minute,
Yeah.
here's something.
And gamers are sort of more important to keep engaged.
Yeah,
every moment.
attention
than anything.
spans. You may have noticed that occasionally sounded a little lopsided because we were missing some B flats.
Yes.
Because our keyboard does not have a particular
Occasionally we
B-flat.
have a B flat, but a lot of the time we don't have a B flat.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
we can add some things in there.
We've got those.
Got them everywhere else.
Yeah, I was just thinking those B flats won't have recorded, so I'll have to draw them in. There it is.
Should we, we'll spend a couple of seconds adding in the
We'll
B
get the B
flats.
flats in, and we'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, okay.
We've got most of them in.
So actually, we only had to add 2, and one of them was a live edition.
It's always a nice challenge.
Yeah.
If you want an extra note in your MIDI, try and draw it in while it's playing. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so how long are we shooting for this idea?
What do you think? I don't think we need too long, because in my head,
What's that? I think that's a good length.
in my head, we'd probably end up doing we'd be going into some sort of underscore afterwards.
Yeah, I think so.
Something for the player to then explore, and then maybe a loop that happens that can like fade out or something. So this is more of an introductory sort of cutscene kind of thing, I think.
Like a minute and a half.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Ish.
Yeah.
So I think if we do 4 bars intro, doo-doo, and we start there. No. Yeah. Cool. So we've got our main idea there, and then.
I think the length of this might be all we need, you know, because the way it trails off is quite natural. I feel like if we did any more, we might end up forcing it into something else. And it means we can fill out the orchestration a bit more then as well.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So I'll just have this little bit here can be our end, and we'll just settle on that G minor. So we're in a nice place to be able to transition if we need to. So this is our main statement of the theme. Ooh, themey 3 of our theme. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So I'm gonna.
You're gonna put in that 6/4 bar.
I'm gonna do it as 2/4 because of where the chord change is. It really doesn't matter if people are fretting about it in certain signature. So we're going to go with 2/4 and then 4/4 here. Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect. Okay.
Wonderful.
So we need an intro and an outro, and then just fill this bit up with some stuff. So we've got 2 Albions that we're going to concentrate on. Solstice and Tundra, and Tundra can give us some nice ethereal, whispery, orchestral
It's very nice to like tickling the back of your brain with the sounds and Tundra, I find, especially the strings.
I think Tundra is going to be really good for the intro and the outro, and
it's quite wistful.
We might use a little dollop of Eric Whittaker's contrast there.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll maybe use Solstice quite a lot for the main bit of the theme, because that's quite a nice. It's quite a nice folky sound, and there's some really nice instruments in there, and really interesting treatments of the instruments in terms of how they've loaded them into
I like
Edna.
Oh, we've got a bit of pitch bend on this one.
I want want something on the mod wheel.
You just want to have that bend. Oh, that's nice.
Get some nice
Dreamy.
magic.
Maybe that's a good for the intro
touches. Yeah.
with the Tundra.
Oh, that'll work nicely, won't it? Let's get that.
Can you tell we've done this before?
I'm just going to play that as a sort of reference point. So we might not use that.
So what was it you were noodling on there?
We might use exactly that. It is sort of a G minor, add 9, add loads of susses.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
So nothing,
but
nothing overly complex, really.
Nothing
Just sort
overly
of,
complex, even though it might sound like that. It's just a G minor chord with some other stuff. And the other stuff is generally going to be sus2, sus4, add 9.
A bit 6, maybe.
Yeah. Nothing too chromatic because this style that we're working with, we're kind of leaning towards pentatonic.
Yeah.
That sounds like
it's that E natural that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice and it's kind of spooky and warm at the same time on this instrument. What's Visitor?
Oh, some nice synths.
Wow, that might not be for this.
I have to admit, Solstice isn't usually what I go to with synths, but I quite like that. It could be nice for a if this was to take a dark turn.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice secondary layer for some hybrid stuff.
There's just so
lots
much
of performance stuff in there as well. Like maybe one of that to me. That's his intro.
Yeah. Okay, we're not starting until here, are we?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. So that wasn't the sound you just heard. That was the plucked sound because. Sorry, I'm going to add my B flat.
Yep.
Because I've got this set up in Logic. So different DAWs do this in different ways, but Logic's got articulation, mapping, and management, and I've set it up hopefully so that I can select the notes that I want and click here.
Aha.
And I mean, sometimes it doesn't quite match up. That seems like too many things. Well, maybe it's not. So did we want tremolo slow?
Yeah, I think it was tremolo slow we picked.
Just seeing what the others are. Oh, that's
an interesting.
nice analog sound. Let's do tremolo slow. Oh, how do you unselect one? Because it's got 2 at the same time.
Maybe command. Alt click. That.
Yeah, alt click did it. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So we've turned the longs off, and we've just got the trem.
So we've just got hopefully tremolo slow. Let's see if it works. Yeah. I'm going to fan those out a little bit more.
Yep.
I don't know if they're reacting to modulation because there's a natural swell in that sample anyway. But I'm just going to make sure that
it's definitely going to be
a
there.
bit more of a lead in to that statement of the theme. I don't need to play it. I know what it's doing. Let's not waste time. So I think it'd be nice to get the melody on something. So I think it's got to be pipes or winds.
What's the
or
mysterious reeds?
Mysterious reeds has a legato. I don't think octave legato. I think that's too much for this. But what we can do is just play the melody and try it on 3 different things and see. Because you only have to play it once and then we can just drag it around. So although that requires me to remember what I wrote in the first place.
It's a bit on the quiet side. Should we turn that up a little bit? Turn it up in...
Yes. Boom.
Done.
So that's not the final performance, but it's enough.
Yeah.
To I went very Celtic there. Excellent.
I don't hate it.
I like that accident. But what I don't like is that flavour of woodwind against that very characterful acoustic plucking. I don't think works.
We could just, but yeah, thankfully we can just drag that to something else that we could demo.
Yeah, I think
you might have been right with the pipes.
I think the pipes is going to work best. I'm going to leave that to last. So let's see what it's like with the solstice winds, and we want to do. Do we have legato? Yes,
we do have legato.
Too loud. It's very similar. I mean, it's woodwinds playing the same thing in the same register, so yeah, of course it will be. Let's see if pipes do what we need. I think it will be.
Yeah, that gels much better.
Yeah.
I have to say though that E natural, because it's a legato patch, is stopping it from sounding.
Yeah. Oh. I thought that was going to be like a clacky sticks thing. That's it. Someone's
very dry
Tesco bag.
Very dry by comparison.
Right. There's no order that you're supposed to do things in. Let's get some drums down. So we want another brilliant thing about, I mean, not just Albion series, but all Spitfire stuff, is that you can really dig into the mic controls.
I really like
you can have the simplicity of, in some of them you can just have close far and it'll intelligently interpolate that with the mics, but so that's the main mix. Right, that's slightly further away. That isn't.
That's right underneath it.
Bottle. I think that's the bottle mic. Okay, that'll do.
Yeah.
But I think that helps, because I think that is a weightier sound, which is nice to dial that weight in, and then to be able to dial in just the right amount of reverb. I think that'll do. I mean, you can do it externally, but it just saves time to have everything here, because you're often going to want that with percussion. So I'm looking for a snarey.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Quite a nice one, that one. Actually, with the adjusted mic positions, those snare sounds that sounded quite jarring to begin with actually mesh really nicely.
It's so flexible, because you can use that. If you wanted the dry sound, you could use that. So I'm just going to do a really simple, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it. It's okay. That's what I want.
Oh god, that was quick. Oh, I see. You just looped it. Thought I blacked out for a second there.
Oh, hang on. I can't loop it because I've got a bar of
6/4
of 6/4, 2/4, etc. So I can do that.
There you go.
And then that will get us to to the last chord, and then we can do I might as well do it now. We can do some sort of thing on that end of the statement. There you go. We want some sort of. Shorten it. How horrible is it going to sound if I try and manually do a little cymbal-y thing?
You could do it. I believe in you.
Let's see. Let's see. You've got to try, haven't you? You don't want these too loud. That one I don't mind being loud. That works.
Yeah, it does work.
In context, and we'll add more stuff. Not too bad. It's very subtle, but it's there. So I think we just start thickening up the arrangement a little bit.
Let's
add
crack
more
on,
stuff to it. Yeah. That's too electric, isn't it? That's a bit.
If it was more
I can't
subtle,
help
maybe.
but think that a synth sound would work for the bass. So let's have a little look.
I'm
and see
inclined
what
to
they've
agree.
got. Even that one.
And maybe you just double it with the strings. Ageless.
But like quite low in the mix. That might work. Let's see, can we do a low pass? Yes. Who's that? Adjust the low pass frequency for Bay A. Yes. Ah!
Must be on the other os, yeah.
I think there's a threshold for that, isn't there? They're not quite letting us go the whole hog because you could make the instrument silent. And you wouldn't want
by
people
accident.
to do that. Interesting. I think the sound of that. I really like the sound of that.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna. Can we use EQ?
Absolutely, you can use EQ. You're allowed to. Just want enough of it through that you can tell it's a synth.
Okay, let's try. Too keen. I'll change the release. I remembered this well.
Yeah, you have. I'm very impressed. I've forgotten already.
Okay, great.
We got it.
So the only thing I'm going to change with this is to just tweak the release, because there's a couple of those points where I came off. It was just a bit too conspicuous when the bass went.
Yeah.
So let's just tweak that a little bit.
That's better.
Yeah, that's more of a nice ramp down, isn't it? Nice. Let's see what these...
That's very nice.
I quite like this.
Oh, we've got lots of different, we've got so many options.
These really fit. That's a bit too funky. Yeah. I mean, I literally played a C on the first one, and it was what we needed.
Bit too Latin. Bit too Latin-y.
That's why they go to the Goblin Disco. Sometimes you can just use
the first one you hit.
The first C on the first preset, and it's what you need. I'm going to put that down and make it lowish in the mix. There you go. I'm not going to.
That's all you need.
Sit here and press my finger down like some kind of lunatic. Just do this. One note. A big breathe. I don't know what you call that. We want it to end there.
Have we got mod control? Yeah.
We do have mod control, but I think it might be on note retrigger, but just in case.
Let's draw it in anyway.
I'll draw it in just because we're doing this nice and quickly. Some stuff might work, some stuff might not work, but let's bring it down a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. What was that? I'm going to leave that. Can we add delay?
Yeah, if you want to add delay. I will say as well, we're now at 30 minutes.
Okay. We can speed this up. Speed up the waffle. That's what I want. There we go. Okay, we've got our base. Let's just label that so we know what it is.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
I don't like the sound of it. I don't think it needs loads more. That could thicken out some of the chords. I'll play this in as a pad thing. Maybe add some movement in.
Add that B flat in again.
Yeah. So I'll mix this in nice and quiet, and we'll correct it.
Yes. Let's put this B flat.
Do a bit of quantize it. So what chord is it? That. So where do we need B flats? I was mostly on 2 notes the whole time, wasn't I? So
yeah, we're only missing 2 B flats again.
That's a B flat.
And then one in bar 17. Perfect.
We want to fade out at the end, obviously. Boom. I like this. This is good.
Do you want any more movement from anything?
Yes.
Oh,
I think we can outline some chords
Yeah.
with this. Bit of twinkly. I think that was all in key. I couldn't really hear it. But let's see.
I like this blind composing. Play something.
See your pants. Just guess.
We don't have any. Yeah, we don't really have any strings yet either. I mean, we've got Tundra that's waiting to be used down there.
I think we'll do one more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing, and then we'll run down to strings and get that. Just get
Nip
that.
on down to strings. Get our fix. I love the sound of the hurdy-gurdy. Oh, and that's a good one. Ooh.
Yeah, it would be nice to use. I'll save that till later.
Okay. That's nice. That could be a good double for the lead.
Yeah.
That gliss up was quite nice.
Let's get. So we'll use this hurdy-esque sound to go into the main melody, I think, and then we can do a. And then I'll use the same sound at the end, so we'll bookend it with that. So the first time we hear it will fade out, and the second time we hear it will fade in.
Like it's been there the whole time, we just haven't heard it.
Like it's just been expertly mixed. Right, I think we could add some movement in a rhythmic sense. I'll just see if we can do it here. Benz Motors. So 90 is close to what the tempo that we're at. It feels like it shouldn't work, but let's try.
Oh, before we start as well, should we fix that mysterious reeds? That the E was a good gambit, but on that patch it doesn't.
Oh, I know the one you mean.
Yeah.
Mysterious reeds. This one,
Yeah,
right?
it stops the legato from playing. That's it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Not that one.
It shouldn't work, but it does. It almost has like a plucked string-esque kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally is, but like a pizzicato almost aspect to it.
Just the right level in the mix, and that works quite nicely. Okay, right. I think the meat of that is good,
That's all right.
and it
That's
does
our
what we
motive.
need to do. Yeah. Let's just, because it's nice, let's just add a bit of contrast at the start, and then we'll move on to Tundra to add some air and magic. Didn't record record, but you can retroactively record, can't you? Sometimes it's quicker to just do it again. Just going to make that really subtle, just a kind of Skyrim touch.
Yeah.
Full of choirs. It's another good score.
It is a really good score.
Yeah. What's your favourite video game fantasy score?
Ooh. I think for cutscenes, not necessarily for underscore, probably Halo.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of the old school Halo soundtrack. I think it's very inspiring. Reach is a really good one. That's a really good soundtrack. Actually replaying that at the moment because it's mostly because of the score.
Fine. It's nice to do it with that in mind. So that's
maybe a hint of malice at the beginning to then dissipate into the.
That's a nice way to start it because you're going on a journey, and this is quite a nice melody. But to have that at maybe the start and the end. So we've got low strings, Tundra low strings, Tundra low brass. I'm going to record it in, and then we'll just see if there's another articulation that might work. I'll start that from dead silence as well.
That's it.
I think this is going to be quite nice.
I never had any doubts, Rich.
Right. So let's see. I like the sound of that, but what other options do we have? So that's an airy low brass.
There we go.
So the burst is going to be too horror-ish, I think. Yeah, these are all too movement related and too texture.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That was the one, yeah.
The Quiver is going to be too much.
Yeah. Super air.
I think one of the granular flutters might be one to go with. I mean, in Logic, probably in other things, you could select one note to be something and one note to be something else. If you wanted to be really fancy, I don't think we need to. I think we'll do granular flutter because I like that sound. And then the low strings. What have we got? We're on flautando, concertino. Long. We've got Frozens.
The Frozens are very nice in Tundra.
Such a lovely variation. Like they're all different, but
and to have that many at your fingertips as well, to just be able to have so many different options for the same sort of sound.
Yeah,
you don't often get that choice.
No, so spoiled to be able to have like however many world-class players just playing everything that we need. It's nice. Okay, so I think we've got flautando and gypsy harmonics playing together. I don't know if it'll. I'll just leave it because I don't want to muck it up with. If I select something in Logic, it might deselect one of these, and I like that sound. I really like what Bradley was playing as well. Can we play it?
Like
Can you do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the bottom bit, and you do that bit.
No worries. I'll try and figure out where.
So our little preamble. Ready? Remember, it's fading up, so you won't hear it until.
I'll wait until it's.
Here we go. And I'll give you some more volume for it.
That's where we're coming.
That might be better. So did they sound in the end?
I heard the last ones. Maybe I was too low with the velocity. Maybe I need to.
Okay. It didn't. Yeah.
Oh,
I think the key range is different per articulation.
So which was the top one? That
it was the Gypsy Harmonics. So
they're only up here. So if we shift click both of them, we can activate both.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So then they should both sound, because you're down there and I'm up here, so we won't overlap.
I think the way to do it and to know we're going to get that stuff
is to duplicate.
Is to have the Flotando here.
Yeah.
And then the Gypsy Harmonics here.
Yeah, that's the one.
So they should be both.
Yeah, they're there. That feels like probably a double for the melody or a counter melody.
I think you're right. But I'll bring it down and I will get rid of the low notes. So we don't need these. Let's just pan them slightly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to bleed over quite a lot. So I'll just dip the volume when we get to that end point. Do we need any?
Oh.
Well, we need that, don't we?
Yeah, we definitely need some of that.
Nice.
It sounds very much like the Easter Island hits, which if anyone's watching any of the other videos, you'll know that I'm a fan of those. Oh, it's the Darwin percussion. So it almost definitely is.
Yeah. We'll definitely start with that and we'll end with that because it's such a lovely weighty hit. And then can I bounce this and reverse it and make a little whoosh?
Yeah, go on. I'll let you.
So very, very nearly done, I think. I don't think this needs much more. Oh, we've got an issue where I can't right click. Bounce in place.
Bounce and join.
Bounce regions in place.
Okay.
Whoosh.
Whoosh. There it is.
This is something I've got a one-click control.
Yeah.
In Reaper
shortcuts.
We want to not mute that. We want to keep that. And then we want to reverse this. You can reverse it in Logic. You can just click a button in the region editor and it'll let you reverse it, but it's not always reliable.
Doing it to the audio file like that is always a better option.
Yeah. Also, be careful when you're doing this kind of thing, and you're reversing something that's very transient. You can see just at the end, because of the nature of it. And in fact, because I played it in live, there's a little gap. So if I left this as it is, you get it going. Whoosh, poof,
yeah.
And it wouldn't smoothly rise up to it. It's there.
I don't often do it with hits. I often do it with cymbals.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we don't necessarily want that guitar carrying on.
No. We don't need any of that actually. That last chord doesn't need to be there.
I'd agree.
Yeah, speaking of, you just said you normally do this with cymbals. When I do that with lower hits, I tend to get a chunk of low end out of the way.
Right, okay.
Because it can really mess up your mix. I don't know if we need an awful lot more than that. I think we can probably do the same thing again with the strings and just end it with that that low string and brass.
Yeah.
Run this key, aren't we? That's too loud, isn't it?
The guitars have suddenly piped up. I might have recorded something on the high as well.
I can see it there. I'll just do the same thing as before and put that on the... I know what I can do. I'll just put it on string legato.
Yeah, because then it won't bring up the...
Copy, don't use this. Let's see if that's in a playable range. Yeah, I think it is. Nice.
Yeah.
So let's make sure that's sort of fading out.
Yeah.
And then we want this to fade out. And there was something, the guitar-y things were a bit loud, weren't
they? Yeah, they shot up.
I feel like that's a mod wheel thing, like it didn't catch it before and it's catching it now, maybe?
Oh, right, okay. Or not.
Yeah,
that's better.
I just want to even out the volume on this. And then, unless you have any particular suggestions.
No suggestions from me. I think it's sounding good.
We're okay. Yeah, that's the one that was a bit quiet. Yeah. Two men thoughtfully replying to a modulation adjustment. Yeah.
Just felt it needed that natural sort of diminuendo at the end there, just to
Yay, I like that. So second time round, we're going to get the higher octave.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And more so for that one phrase.
Do you know what we never did? We never went back to the Hurdy for a lead of any kind. Do you think we should skip that or leave it as a pad?
I quite like it as it is, but it's because we've got that lead as a MIDI. Yeah. We can add it in and see. We can't do it as a drone.
Oh no, because it was the drone. Yeah, it would have to be as the.
Let's just do that as our final little thing.
Just see if it works. It might not work. Experimentation is the spice of life.
Hurdy-gurdies are the spice of life. Not that one. We've got that one at the start, actually, the Gliss Up. It's a nice little wonky lead up to it. Long combo. That might work. That might work really well.
But again, I think quite quiet and just sort of subdued. But it feels like it's following the woodwinds as opposed to being the main thing.
Yeah. So what if the statement was... And then that bit was a bit quieter. And then that bit was a bit louder. And then the last bit was a bit louder again.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that could work.
So something's going on there. I'm not hearing it much.
Maybe it's up the octave. That's very, very high.
It's a very red-faced player.
That's the.
Oh, they don't blow the hurdy-gurdies, do they?
No, they crank it, don't they?
Yeah, he's cranking it too much, I think. There we go. Right.
Just adds that extra bit of texture to that lead line.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make that more of a hairpin dynamic. So it comes up and then down. And then it goes to there and comes down. Yeah, let's get that back on. I think we're done.
Yeah. Have a little demo of how it all sounds.
I really like the unison sound because in my head, I heard that melody as being a solo.
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted to go for the woodwinds and then try the pipes and see if something would fit in that space. But having a few different groups play it gives us a really nice sort of. It's like having gang vocals in a thing. There's a vibe that really suits the track, I think.
I agree. That whoosh you hit really works. It worked really nicely there. That's good. That's a good piece. That's
One notable thing is that the backbone of the track, which was the sketch that we did right at the start, is actually still there, completely unchanged. And you would potentially want to go and, due to the nature of that instrument, it might work well as an arpeggiated thing, or playing more block chords, or doing a bit of rhythmic interest throughout. But I quite like. We've left it as it is, and it blends really nicely playing what it does. It's playing a pianistic part, it's playing the chords, a little bit of bass, and the melody. Yeah. But because we're going for a sort of folky, slightly rough sound, I think it works.
Yeah, I think it really works as well. And it works really well as an opening statement to kind of introduce maybe like the heroic character of the game. Yeah. I feel like that's very much its sort of. Maybe he starts from humble beginnings, and that's what this is. It's fade from black.
It's got a humble feeling to it.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I mean, we've only used 3 libraries. We barely used any Eric Whitacre, but we've got some choirs in there. Yes. Just to add a bit of atmosphere. But that's basically 2 libraries worth, and we've created a full piece of music for the beginning of a game, which I think is pretty damn good going. So if you enjoyed that, then you can see more of me and Richard over in our How to Write Video Game Music course, where we do a lot more of this kind of stuff. Yeah. But this shows the power of both Albion Tundra and Albion Solstice, and just the quality that you can get from that. So invest and go and have a play.